Here's what's happening now. Sun is out, and we will see more of that this weekend. We'll also see some warmer temperatures, believe it or not. Find out how high that ceiling is Saturday and Sunday. Paula?
Hey, Ben, this is Rosie, and she certainly knows her dog's purpose, but she's looking for people who have a people purpose. I think she can help you. I'll show you how. Karen.
Up first, breaking news from Southfield. Flames ripped through in an apartment complex. We'll hear from a resident who was rescued. First at 4 starts now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Drew. Take a look at some of the flames and smoke shooting from this roof of this apartment complex in Southfield. The property is just off of 11 Mile Road, west of Telegraph. Sean Lay's live at the scene. And Sean, this looked like a tough battle, and you have talked to some residents on how they're doing today.
And it continues to be tough, Karen. Here's the deal. Started around 11:30, just went to a third alarm. 16 units, that's the latest right now, destroyed by this fire. 30 families are out of their homes as about 50 to 60 firefighters right here try to put this fire out.
Yeah, is that your unit? No.
12 units destroyed so far at the Carnegie Park apartment. The fire starting in a bottom unit, burning hot and burning straight through several units to the roof. When Keith Paul was home and smelled smoke, it was rolling down his upstairs hallway and under his door. He went right out to the balcony. He's the one person who had to be rescued by firefighters.
They just parked right there, and then I was like, hey, can someone come get me? And they just came over with a ladder and got me down.
We also saw firefighters going unit to unit to make sure everyone was out. That's the good news. Everyone is out. But again, about 30 different families are out of their places. Southfield Fire says the very latest right now, as they work on this, they're working on opening up a community center where they can spend the night. Much more coming up at 5 o'clock, Karen.
All right, our hearts go out to those families. 30 families affected. All right, thank you, Sean. Also breaking news this afternoon, the state of Michigan says Social Security numbers and other personal information of 1.9 million residents may have been compromised. We're talking about people using the unemployment benefit system. A software problem allowed employers and human resource professionals to access that information. Although it's not clear if any of the information was actually taken, an investigation is underway. A new federal ruling has given protection to green card holders from President Trump's travel ban. Today, a federal judge in Detroit issued a ruling that prevents the president's ban from ever applying to permanent residents. The order follows the administration clarifying the ban does not apply to green card holders. It's now been 1 week since the president signed an executive order calling for a 90-day ban on immigration from 7 predominantly Muslim countries. The ruling comes in response to a lawsuit filed by the Arab American Civil Rights League. Tomorrow morning, a stretch of southbound I-75 will close from Detroit to downriver and won't reopen for another 2 years. The nearly $200 million project includes replacing all of the concrete on the Rouge River Bridge. The closure will begin 7 a.m. tomorrow and spans 8 miles from Springwells in Detroit to Northline in Southgate. And we do have detour information on our traffic page at clickondetroit.com. Time now for our first look at the forecast as we're knocking on the weekend. Hey, Ben.
It's here, Karen, and even though the temperature is probably not at the warmest spot compared to where we're going to go, still not doing too bad. Wind chills are still single digits in a couple spots. Ann Arbor, a 9 above. Same here in Lapeer. The air temperatures have made it into the 20s across a good chunk of the area. We will see warmer air as we head into the upcoming weekend. But tonight, we've got another bitterly cold finish and start to tomorrow morning. We'll watch those numbers get warmer over both Saturday and Sunday. We'll discuss that. And Tuesday, well, let's just say it looks messy. More on that in your 7-day forecast, plus your 4-zone outlook in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. President Donald Trump is making it clear just about every day he wants his administration to be good for business in America. Devin joins us now with more on what that means for Michigan and the auto industry. Devin?
Well, Karen, also pretty clear in these first couple of days that the president has his eyes focused firmly on the auto industry as he tackles a variety of business and jobs related issues. Today, the president met with his Business Advisory Council at the White House. General Motors CEO Mary Barra seated right next to the president. He told the executives he will slash regulations on everything from banking to auto regulation for the auto manufacturers, which he says will boost job growth and the ability of businesses to invest.
I will tell you, I learned a lot about the automobile business. I thought I knew a lot, but they are being so stymied, so restricted with regulation and so many other reasons. And they're pouring back into the country already. I mean, if you look at Mark was telling us what they're doing with Ford and Bill Ford too. A lot of jobs are going to be coming back into Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and all of the places that really have been hurt so badly.
The Mark he was referring to there, of course, Mark Fields of Ford Motor Company. The president also promising to have legislation very soon aimed at cutting taxes and reforming health care, an ambitious agenda that, of course, would have a big impact here in Michigan, where Governor Snyder, of course, been touting the expansion of Medicaid, which came under the Obama administration. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Michigan billionaire Betsy DeVos will face a critical vote in the U.S. Senate next week. Her nomination for Education Secretary hanging in the balance. Early this morning, the Senate voted to end debate and send her nomination to a final vote. 2 Republicans have joined Democrats opposing her confirmation, bringing the expected vote to 50-50. If that happens, Vice President Mike Pence would get to break the tie. The vote is expected Monday. Well, it's hard for anyone not to love puppies, but these little guys being raised with a specific purpose. They'll grow up to be leader dogs for the blind, and right now there's a desperate need for people willing to help with that special mission. Paula Tutman is live in Rochester Hills, and Paula, this journey all starts with Mama Dog, doesn't it?
It really does. And you know what, Karen? I know the leader dogs and their clients, they're the main event, but there are a lot of unsung heroes that really put this program together. And Rosie is just one of them. I want you to see, take a look at her tag right there. It says Leader Dog Mom. That's really, really a very, very important job, because without her, you can't have the puppies. And without the puppies, you don't have leader dogs. When Jeff Hawkins looks out onto Otter Lake just beyond his patio, he sees it differently than most.
I had good sight up until I was 24, 25 years old. So I have a good perception of when somebody says, my God, look at those mountains. I can look and I can see a fuzzy shape of mountains, but I have enough stuff left in my head that goes, yeah, I know.
You might not notice Jeff is sight impaired unless you look down and see Gracie by his side. She is his eyes. She is his freedom. She gave him back his life.
I was, like I said, to the point where I didn't want to leave the house or be in a crowd unless I was with someone sighted, and even then I was pretty much hanging on all the time, you know. So now I'm like free and happy, and it doesn't matter if there's a car coming. She steps in front of me. If I want to cross a road and I say forward and she doesn't go, I know there's a reason why she's not moving.
It takes a lot to raise a dog like Gracie to become the eyes of a man like Jeff. And there are lots of moving parts at Leader Dogs for the Blind. Puppies are only part of it, but to get puppies you need a mother dog, and a mother dog needs a home environment too.
Because the dogs are happiest with a family first and foremost. We want a family who's going to welcome them into their home as a family pet, love them, treat them like they would their very own pet.
Right now, Leader Dogs needs mom dog hosts for dogs like, well, Rosie, to take into their home and love her and care for her for the next 2.5 to 3 years as a breeder and a whelper. You help her through her gestation. The puppies are born in your home. The puppies will leave. The mom dog stays.
These dogs are very valuable, so we're asking our families to keep them very safe, very healthy, and very fit while they're getting ready to be bred. And then obviously once they are bred, you know, they're really crucial to keep them inside, keep them quiet, keep them germ-free as possible.
And then after her service is done, unlike the puppies, you can choose to keep her as a pet. Yeah, and that's really one of the things that's very different. Of course, the puppy raisers, they raise the puppies, they expose them to things, and then they send them off to service. With the mom dogs, you can actually have the option to keep her. So who are they looking for? Well, Karen, they're looking for families. Not families with like really, really little children, but maybe small children, maybe somebody who's homeschooling or retirees. Not people who have long hours, because the dogs do need a lot of attention. You do pay for food and some things. They take care of the medical care. So this isn't just something that you do on a notion. It really takes a lot of thought, but they really do need volunteers and mom dog hosts. If you're interested at all, make sure you call Leader Dogs. Come here. Come back over here, Rosie. You're the star. Nobody wants to see me. They want to see you. There you go. Look at that face. Look at that face. How do you not adopt that face, right? Send her into service. That's a people's purpose.
In a perfect world, they're looking for how many people to adopt these dogs and be host families?
Oh, Karen, that's a great question. They need a rotating number. They always need people, because the dogs are really only in service for 2.5, maybe 3 years. It used to be 4 years, but because they've lowered the number of litters they have, then they definitely need a constant number of people. So contact Leader Dogs, go through that screening process, and find your people purpose.
Wonderful story. All right, thank you, Paula. For the first time in months, singer Michael Bublé is talking about his son's battle against cancer. We'll have his story a little bit later. Also, some unusual advice for car owners, why one automaker is telling drivers to keep their rear windows closed. The safety risk ahead. But up first, let's check in with Kimberly Gill.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. Studies have found women are less likely than men to survive their first heart attack. Up next, what all women need to know to spot trouble and questions to ask your doctor.
On the 10th, coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Charity Week at Troy Athens is upon us, and tickets are flying off the table. We'll tell you about the very special charity that means so much for the students behind it.
In good health today is National Wear Red Day to raise awareness about women's heart disease. So rightfully so, we put on our red.
Yes, you look very nice.
And so do you.
That's some of the men to wear red too. So
it is important because we got to get that message out. So women realize this is an important issue.
It's a big deal. You're right. Heart disease kills more women than any other cause, but many women are still missing the symptoms of a heart attack, or they're reluctant to speak up.
Carmela Powers now checks her pulse and blood pressure every day, looking for subtle signs of heart problems. But for years, she unknowingly ignored them. Carmela would get pain in her jaw and had no idea it was a symptom of serious heart trouble.
Down in here, this is where it would just erupt, and it would come on real strong, and then it would go away.
Then Carmela suffered 3 heart attacks in a matter of days, but she was lucky. Studies find women are less likely than men to survive their first heart attack.
When women are having heart attacks, their recognition is often delayed. Could be a few hours, could be days.
Dr. Lakshmi Mehta says heart attack symptoms in women can be more subtle.
Some women experience really bad heartburn. Well, that's really hard to tell. Is it food or is it my heart?
While both sexes can experience chest pain or discomfort, women more often report pain in their back, arm, neck, or jaw. Other potential symptoms: shortness of breath, nausea, lightheadedness, sweating, or unusual fatigue. They're symptoms Carmela wants women and men to remember.
I really didn't hear much even then about jaw pain in women, and mine was really severe.
And survivors often say they notice some of these warning signs weeks before their heart attack happened. Experts warn some doctors are also more likely to dismiss heart symptoms in women, making it all the more important for women to speak up and ask questions. And if you really are unsure, just keep pressing the issue.
You really almost have to be your own medical advocate.
You really do.
Just keep asking questions.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Karen.
Nissan has some unusual advice this evening for drivers in this Help Me Hank recall alert. It's warning owners of Nissan Altimas to keep the rear windows closed. We're talking model years 2015 through 2017. A mechanical routing issue could cause the car doors to open if a rear window is open. Nissan says it's not aware of any crashes or injuries. The company will notify owners and make repairs. Man, that would be scary if that's your main car and that's your kids are in the back seat.
Luckily, it's 20 degrees outside.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's true. I don't think so.
Those windows down.
Ben is back. It is really cold out there.
It is.
I mean, I think is the wind, or is it just that we kind of were pampered in January?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're heading up as we get into the upcoming weekend. We're in the 20s for at least the southern half of the area right now. 25 down in Toledo. Metro's to 24. You get up in here into parts of Wayne County, not too much different. City Airport 22, Ferndale checking in at 24, and then the teens start to show up. This is, remember what the actual thermometer is saying, 19 in Pontiac, Oxford's at 19, and one of our cooler locations is up there in Marlette at 18 degrees. Wind chills are still hanging around in the negative territory, or I should say single digits in part of the area. East side locations seeing those wind chills that are still in the teens right now. Not much to look at as far as cloud cover goes. You can see where that line is that's keeping the sunshine in the southern half of the area, and a little bit more cloud cover here across our north zone. Some lake effect snow up here close to Traverse City. We're going to miss out on that. However, we do have some snow in the forecast, and it's going to be coming in here Saturday night. Before that happens, dunes. High pressure slides east of us, starts giving us a little bit warmer temperatures as we get into Saturday. So by Saturday night, this is 2 in the morning, we'll start seeing some light scattered snow showers, mainly north of Detroit. And even if those show up, again, they'll be scattered, and I don't think we'll see any accumulation out of them, lasting at least through about the first half of Sunday. But a front will clear those out pretty quickly. So by the rest of our Super Bowl Sunday, we will be on the dry side of things. We get a little bit of a break on Monday, and then this is going to be the system that's going to roll in on Tuesday. Could be a little bit of a wintry mix, but most likely this is going to be mainly rain. And we'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast coming up. Here's how the lows look tonight in your 4-zone forecast. 12 degrees in Dearborn, City of Detroit, you're going to be at 13. And downriver, you'll be right around 11 or 12 for those morning lows. Slightly less wind, so those wind chills not having as much of an effect tonight as they did early this morning. Either 10, 11, or 12 here in our south zone for lows. There will be spots, obviously, that only hit the single digits, and our west zone is one of those. 9 in Flint, 9 in Brighton, 10 for a low temperature in Canton. And in our north zone, by tomorrow morning, pretty much the same goes. 9 or 10 degrees will be the low temperature tomorrow. Highs will be warmer. We'll get up and stop just short of that 32-degree mark in the afternoon. Bright start, clouds start moving in to finish, and 7-day forecast gets warmer, and then we start turning our attention to Tuesday. Starting out with some freezing rain potentially, but with that high temperature going to 43, that's going to change over to liquid pretty quickly. Then we get colder as we go into the rest of the week, but do get some sunshine back for next Thursday and Friday. Karen?
Well, the sun definitely is nice. Thank you, Ben. Still ahead, using Twitter could pay off for this Super Bowl Sunday. A social media celebration that could save you money on appetizers, whether you watch the game or not. Up first, Michael Bublé's first public comments on his son's battle with cancer in months. Stories people are talking about coming up. But first, as we go to break, you can take a look at the screen and you'll see how the markets have closed for Friday. We'll be right back. Our top trending story this afternoon is some good news from singer Michael Bublé and his family. We told you a few months ago his son Noah was diagnosed with cancer. Well, just today, the Canadian star says his son is progressing well, and doctors are optimistic about his son's future. Bublé and his wife cut back their work schedules to spend time with Noah. They also have another son who is just 1 year old. Also trending, here's a story a lot of parents will be talking about. Inside Edition has done a big investigation of adults behaving very badly at Chuck E. Cheese's all across the country. They found restaurants serving more alcohol than the rules allow, and anchor Deborah Norville recently told us what surprised her about this story.
What strikes me about this story now is how many places around the country have had fights. There's one 911 call that we've got on the story coming up. The person calling said, there's a fight that broke out. We have people fighting. We need a cop. I need an ambulance. I need everything. That's how panicky it was.
Chuck E. Cheese did take action after this investigation, and you can see that story on Inside Edition on Local 4 just in a few minutes right after this newscast. Well, if you are looking for Super Bowl snacks this weekend, you might want to tweet TGI Fridays. The chain is now accepting orders via Twitter and says it's the first national bar and grill to take orders using your tweets. And anyone who tweets a football emoji to TGI Fridays this Sunday can get an appetizer for 1 penny. The New England Patriots play the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday. Still ahead, a Michigan 4th grader is getting attention online after a knockout talent show performance. Stick around for a peek at his piano playing skills. Here's what's coming up at...
A simple sound with profound meaning.
Big.
A major milestone for this brave little boy and his family.
It's been very difficult.
The special way Zach and his family are saying thank you to the men and women who saved his life.
I think it brings hope and to all the other families.
Tonight at 11.
Finally, first at 4, 4th grader from Fowlerville, Michigan, getting some big attention for a big performance.
He's just 10 years old, but wait till you hear him play Great Balls of Fire. Yeah, 10 years old, do you believe that?
Those skills.
Blake James loves the music of Jerry Lee Lewis. Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, and even Elvis.
I love that he likes, a different genre of time there. He doesn't just play the piano, he also plays guitar, banjo, and drums. And if you would like to see his whole performance, we did post it on clickondetroit.com.
He'll be on Ellen soon.
Oh, for sure. Thanks so much for joining us for First at 4. Sure hope you have a great weekend. We will be back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5. Inside Edition is next.